In all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have the means, don't buy Christmas presents this year. Buy food. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, buy food. If you can't afford to be spending money on trinkets and plastic toys and electronics and things like that, buy food. Make that your Christmas present to your family. Buy food and put it away. And buy those things that bring value to your life that you can actually use instead of discarding 1 or 2 months after you buy it. You ever notice that when you buy a child a toy, maybe not all children, but usually when you buy a child a toy, they're very excited to have that for a month or two. And then it ends up in a toy box that they barely ever use. Have you ever noticed that if you've ever purchased a brand new vehicle, that you have that excitement of that brand new vehicle? You love that smell inside that new vehicle, you know, that new car smell. And then after your first 2 or 3 monthly payments, you realize that you have another 57 or 69 or even 81. I've even heard of 84-month loans for cars nowadays. And once you figure out that you still have all of those months left to pay that monthly payment, it finally hits you that you are pretty much a slave to that payment or to that financial institution until you pay that off. Because what you're doing is that when you borrow money, what you're doing is you're collateralizing your future labor. So when people realize that they have another 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to pay on something, it finally hits them. But they were happy because they got that materialistic thing for the first 2 or 3 months. Then they realized that maybe it wasn't worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, the way that we win this fight is by being prepared. I remember reading a comment from one of our members during our last live stream this Sunday. And it said that she was speaking to 2 people, and I won't say who those 2 people were, but that they were saying that the only hiccup in their plan is preppers. Because by being prepared, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to participate in this nonsense that they're trying to do with us. Buy food and put it away. Because shortages are not going to stop, number one, and price hikes are only going to continue to go up. There's not going to be a price hike downward. The price hikes will continue to go up, ladies and gentlemen. Executives warn customers to brace for continued shortages and price hikes in 2022. I half jokingly tell people to get your Christmas presents now. Well, what I'm telling you is get your Christmas presents in the form of food. If you want to splurge on something, make sure it's on food that you can put away. Because we are going to need it, ladies and gentlemen. The plan has worked very well. You control food and you control people. Remember, and I forget the names of the people that actually have said this, but people have actually said this throughout history. You control money and you control a nation. Do you think that that has been achieved in most nations around the world? Control the money, you control the nation. Now, control food and you control the people. Do you think that those 2 things have been achieved? Or at least the first one had. The second one, very well in progress. So store food, ladies and gentlemen. Companies are preparing for historic supply chain snags to continue into 2022. Many people have asked me in the past, when do you think it's going to be really bad? You know, the term that we all use, that we are all familiar with. When is going to be the SHTF moment? And personally, I feel that it's going to be latter rather than sooner, meaning that it's going to be probably around 2024, 2025. And some people say, no, I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to continue to get worse. But what I mean about 2024, 2025 is I think that's when people are going to reach the point where they have nothing to lose. And then they're going to lose it. So we still have time to prepare, in my opinion. But the thing that is running out is the amount of preparedness that you can accomplish between now and then. Because things are going to continue to get more expensive. I've said this 1,000 times and I hope people are listening. Things are going to continue to get more expensive and your labor is going to continue to be worth less. Meaning that the hours that it takes you to purchase something today is not going to be enough hours for you to purchase the same thing a year from now. So the time to prepare is now. If there was any year in my lifetime that I would say that putting away food for long term is more important than getting Christmas presents, it would be this year. And just a little insider information into the AP household, ladies and gentlemen. Alaska Prepper doesn't really give Christmas presents to his kids. Mrs. Alaska Prepper does that because she likes to see them opening the Christmas presents. But I give them silver. And every year I hear it from little Miss Alaska Prepper. She says, I want fiat currency. And she says that, fiat currency. She says, I want fiat currency. I don't want silver. And I'm like, well, why do you want fiat currency instead of silver? Silver is real money. And you know what she says? Because she's very smart. She says, because you can't spend real money at Walmart, and I can take fiat currency into Walmart and buy something that I want. And isn't that just a sign of the times, ladies and gentlemen? Where we live in a world where we transact in something or with something that is fake. Something that was made by man. A piece of paper with a picture and a number on it. And it all of a sudden has value. The president of UPS said on Sunday that low global vitamin rates, especially in developing countries, is likely to contribute to increased shortages in the coming year. And I have to disagree with that 100%. I have to say that is what's contributing to shortages is not the low rate of vitamins, but the actions that governments are taking upon their people. That is what's contributing to shortages, ladies and gentlemen. This last year in the United States, the gross domestic product, I haven't even checked it out, but I would assume and I would bet that it's either the same or lower than it was last year. Now, the gross domestic product is pretty much the economic activity translated into numbers, right, for the U.S. I would say that it's probably lower than it was the year before. So where's all this demand? It's not that there's more demand. It's that what governments have done to combat this health crisis has shifted demand from one area to another. So it is the actions that the governments have taken that has caused this logistical nightmare that is causing prices of things to skyrocket and delays in things that we need, like microchips, like food. Since the onset of this health crisis, a boom in demand has overwhelmed the supply chain. And again, I would contest that, saying that there's not really a boom in demand. Maybe in some things like toilet paper being hoarded by people that did not prepare. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's another thing. Take into account, especially for those of you that may be new to the prepping community or new to the preparedness mindset. Take into account that it's not preppers that are the problem. It is people that fail to prepare and then go panic buy. And then go and try to get the 20 cases or 20 boxes or packs of toilet paper. Those are the people that create the problem of a supply disruption. Because preppers don't go out and get everything in one shot. As you all know, slow and steady wins the race. And in order to win the prepper race, you have to build up your stock slow and steady. Because why would you want to go out there and purchase 20 bags or cartons or boxes, whatever you want to call it, of toilet paper, when in good times you can just stock up one extra every now and then, maybe when they go on sale. So preppers are not the problem. They continue to say that transportation has struggled to keep up as rising demand, labor shortages, as well as historic weather occurrences causing lack of shipping containers and supplies along major price hikes. And again, I would argue that with the exception of the historic weather occurrences, most of these problems were onset by regulations and or mandates set forth by government. And he says that Judah Levine, who's the head of research at Freightos, told Insider shipping prices between the two regions have jumped 500% from this time last year. While the UPS executive said he expects transportation costs to stabilize in the coming year, several companies have already boosted consumer prices due to elevated shipping costs. And it's only going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to get worse. This bottleneck that's going on with shipping containers right now, they may be taking advantage of it to keep the prices high, but it's going to stay the same because this health crisis that we're going through right now and or the effects of it is going to continue. It's going to be, you remember that song that we used to sing in the bus when we were kids? This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the song that never ends. This is the solution that the powers that be have found in order to take control over the supply system of which food is a part of. This is their solution in order to meet their agenda. And what is that, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, take your heads out of the sand. All right, come on, seriously. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But can you not see that it's about control? That it is about controlling what you can and can't do. What better way to control what you can and can't do? Either by limiting your transport, by telling you where you can and can't go, by issuing you a piece of paper that says yes, you can go here or not, or by limiting what you can get to eat to feed your family. What greater way of control is there? And I'm going to be putting out an article here, not an article, but I'll put out a video probably tomorrow or so, and you may have heard about it already, about some new guidelines that are going to be coming down through the banking sector that's going to infringe even more on our privacy and that will allow governments to know even more of what we do with our money. But that has nothing to do with this article. I digress. Kroger, the nation's largest supermarket chain, indicated on Friday that it plans to hike prices even higher. Kroger is passing along higher costs to the consumer when it makes sense to do so. Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, in a way, I can't blame a lot of these companies, especially the food companies. They already operate on a very low margin. They have absolutely no choice but to increase their prices. Absolutely no choice whatsoever. And now they're talking about, the administration is talking about increasing taxes on everyone. Trust me, it's on everyone. It's not just on people that make over $400,000 a year. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled by that. It's not only on people that make over $400,000 a year. It's going to be on every single person in the country. We will be paying more in taxes in one way or another. On Friday, Toyota said that it's going to slash about 400,000 units from its output because they have no computer chips in order to put in it. But here in the United States, we're trying to shut down the production and mining of those same minerals and metals that we would need in order to manufacture our own computer chips. So instead, we're allowing what's happening overseas to affect what we can and can't do here. Because it's not just Toyota, ladies and gentlemen. I know that Toyota is a Japanese company. However, they do have several plants here in the United States. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not just Toyota, it's Ford, it's GM, it's Tesla that are suffering from these shortages. Why are we shutting down production here in the United States of those same minerals and metals that we need in order to produce those things here? Why are we allowing our fate to be determined by the production capacity of countries that don't even like us? I'll go ahead and finish it off with this. In 2021, UPS hiked their prices by 4 to 5%. And he expects to increase prices by a much slimmer average of 2.8%. Well, by the time that you add it all together, that means that in the last year, year and a half, UPS has increased their prices to close to 10%. But ladies and gentlemen, that's nothing compared to what's coming. So prepare. For Christmas, buy food and put it away. If you can afford to buy trinkets, by all means. But trust me, you're going to be much happier to buy food and put it away to make sure that your family's fed. Go out and buy your turkey today. Go out and buy your Thanksgiving turkey. I have to go out and see if I can find one. Usually we have a turkey in the freezer, at least one turkey all the time. And whenever we use it, we buy another one and put it in there. But we used one this year and I couldn't find one yet. But I'm going to still try to find one. So go get your turkey. He finishes by saying, I half jokingly tell people, order your Christmas presents now. Because otherwise on Christmas Day, there may just be a picture of something that's not coming until February and March. And what I say, ladies and gentlemen, is what I've been saying throughout this article. The heck with those plastic trinkets. If you want to buy something that brings value to your life. Yes, I know that some things that bring... Some people, ladies and gentlemen, take my words literally, like literally. Yes, I know that some things that bring value to your life are made out of plastic. Yes, go get that. But I think you know what I mean. I have a water tank that I purchased last year, thank goodness. That is made out of plastic. That is going to bring an awful lot of value to my life. Once I finally finish setting it up. Which probably still won't be till next year. Because it's too cold outside now to have it insulated with foam. But that's neither here nor there. That'll be a video to come here next year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so listen, I hope you got something out of this. The message is this: prep, prep, prep. There is nothing wrong with preparing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with preparing. And if you think there is, then ask yourselves, is the government preparing? You know they are. So why aren't you? It's just common sense. Having said that, thank you very much for joining in today. I truly do appreciate you all stopping by and spending a few minutes here with me every day whenever I put up a video. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.